everyone.
Hello, everybody.
Hi. So, welcome. Hi, Dawn. Welcome
Hi,
to
Dawn.
our session called Pillow Talk Live. This is session 1. So, thank you for tuning in. I'm Navika, and
I'm LJ.
and we are Marriage Matters Today. We are just coming to you. We want to do some series called Pillow Talk, and basically what Pillow Talk is, the purpose of us doing this is basically to find a way to spark or increase conversation or communication between spouses, because we all know that communication is very important. Communication is one of the biggest things that we need to keep our relationships healthy. So I hope that you were able to grab your spouse and come along and sit with us and just have a little bit of pillow talk. As you can see, the scenery is a little bit different. We got the bed behind us. We got some pillows, and the whole essence of Pillow Talk, if you already know this, is it's an intimate conversation between your spouse and yourself. And so that's what we want to encourage, is intimacy between you and your spouse. So hopefully.
Right. Hi, Tasha. And could you guys let us know how the actual picture looks? Because we really can't tell how it looks or if it looks okay. Yeah. But even when it comes to the pillow talk, like she said, it's very important as far as that goes with the communication and everything. But we're just throwing out some topics, and we're going to walk through as if we're, doing it, with each other, what it would look like. But it might not be an interesting topic for you. That might not be something you and your spouse need to talk about. So we also want to encourage you to, if there is something, make pillow talk about it. You know what I mean? Talk with your spouse, sit down and say, hey, we need to talk about such and such, whatever it may be. Because like she said, communication is key, and communication is what's going to help carry us and keep us in relationship the way that we need to be in relationship with each other.
Right. And so when we're talking about pillow talk, it is usually looks good. Okay. But as far as pillow talk goes, it is an intimate conversation. So it's usually done at the end of the night, when you're getting ready to go to bed, or maybe you've had an intimate, you had made love and had an intimate moment with your spouse, and this is an opportunity for you guys to connect. And so tonight, what we want to do is to put out a question. And this is a question for you guys to explore. Ooh, it's blurry. It's a question for you guys to explore with each other, as far as with your spouse. So the question tonight that we're going to be talking about, or that we're going to answer, is what are the dreams you have for your family, career, and marriage? So I'm asking my husband, what are the dreams that you have, let's say just for our family?
Well, and this is not something that we practiced or anything. This is the first time us walking through these questions as well. For my family, I would just say I want health for one, but I'd like to see my children doing well, living a good life, having the things that they need, my grandchildren healthy and having the things that they need. But as far as for me and my wife, my future for us, and it's something that we have talked about before, is that our marriage ministry, the marriage ministry is very important to me. It's something that I love. It's very dear to my heart. And I know that this is something that God has given us. So for me, I want it to be more in depth. I want to be more involved, maybe even full time in the next 5 to 10 years, working in the marriage ministry, seminars and workshops, and also continuing with our mentoring and different things like that. But marriage is very important to me. So, that's something that I look for us as a family, me and you, because, our kids are going to be out of the house really soon. We got one right now, but she's not going to be here that much longer. So for me and my wife, that's what I really look forward to doing. And also, I'm in school right now, so I look forward to starting a new career myself, in the IT field. So that's my plan within the next 2 years.
Good. So for me, my dreams for my family would be, I want my girls to live godly lives. I want them to be godly women, and I want to model that for them, and for our grandchildren. I want to model that I want them to see what a godly woman looks like, and I want them to be able to model their lives after the example that, I put forth. I want them to have a legacy of serving God and a legacy of having good relationships. I want them to be able to see our marriage and, and say that's what a relationship is supposed to look like.
Right.
And I want them to value themselves. As far as our marriage goes, I want us to always continue to have open communication. I always want to make sure that, we're striving and we're on one accord.
Right.
Always striving for oneness. Just like anybody, if you're out there and you're asking your spouse that question, one of the things that I think that any marriage should have is to be able to strive for oneness. So definitely striving for unity and oneness in our relationship. And as far as career-wise, I'm okay where I'm at as far as a public servant in a secular world. I may have some ambitions maybe to go a little bit further, but I plan to retire in 11 years. So more of my stuff would be kind of along the same lines as you as far as ministry goes. So, yeah. So what about you guys? What are some of the dreams that you have for your family, for your marriage, for your career? These are things, this is a question that we encourage you to sit down and talk with your spouse about. There could be some plans that both of you guys have that require some SMART goals to be laid out,
Right. And you can put those in the comments too if you like. If you like to share some of those goals, go ahead and put them in the comments. And if your spouse isn't here on live today, we also encourage you to watch this video with them. Share this information with them if you don't watch the video.
Yeah.
Just communicate with them and make goals, make plans, and share what your goals are and how you feel about certain things with your spouse, because it should be important to your spouse just as it should be as important to your spouse as it is to you.
Yeah. And I like how you said, how you gave a timeline for your goals or your dreams, for your career, like in 2 years, that you would like to have started your IT career. So, for us, that opens up a whole nother conversation on how does the next 2 years look? How can we be on the same page? How can we prepare ourselves, for these next 2 years while you're in school? What does that look like?
And these are some of the things that we've talked about. My wife has just finished writing her book, and without my support, that would have been very hard for her. And that's something I've been pressing her to do, telling her she needs to do it. But she had to come to the place to where she really knew, okay, this is what I'm going to do and do it. But it was very hard because she set aside time that she was going to write. And one of my love languages is, quality time. Yeah. So I love spending the time that is available with my wife, but I wasn't able to. I had to give up some of that so that she could accomplish what she wanted, what God had given her to accomplish. So, and in turn, it's a goal that I have for her also. Mm-hmm. So I had to give up some quality time with her and let her have her certain days that she was going to write after work. And I'm very proud that she did go ahead and do it, and that she got it done. And I can't wait to read the book myself.
Yeah, that was very important to me, because I think, throughout the years of me wanting to write this book, You know, I had it in me to write, but I felt like I was taken away from the family dynamic or the time and whatever. So I never,
fear, maybe.
you know, and yeah, fear too.
Fear.
But when it was kind of like when he gave me the green light, when he like said, I'm supporting you, I know that you got to do this, and you know, when I knew that he was on board, it was like nothing could stop me. You know, I didn't have him as an excuse as to why I wasn't doing the things I needed to do. If I didn't go right on the days that I said I was going to write, it was on me. You know, if I decided not to do it, it wasn't him, because he had already said, you know, and prepared himself to know that I was going to be, you know, going to be writing those days. So, you know, his support really, really got me to where I was able to focus and get the job done.
Right.
So.
And your goals, they're important. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You might look like she felt, you know, that she was holding up the family or anything like that. No. If God is giving you something, he's going to give you all the tools to carry it through. So, and the support. So you got to share these things, and you got to step out on it, and you got to share it with your spouse so they know, hey, this is what's going on. And then they can say, okay, and they can wrap their heads around it, because they may not be for it 100% right in the beginning.
Yeah.
You know, because there's different things they're looking at, like, oh, it's this or it's that, maybe it's dinner. I don't know what it is, but it's changed, like she said. So, you know, but you gotta be willing to share these things with your spouses and be honest with them, because there's some things that we have to do.
Yeah.
You know, and if we set these goals together, we're stronger together than apart. I can try to do what I want to do and have it just in my mind and not share it with my wife, but 9 times out of 10, it's not going to happen, because I don't have the support that I need.
Right. And so, you know, there's times where you just need to go into prayer, praying individually and praying together.
Yes.
About the decision that needs to be made. You know, I'm sure, like LJ and I, when he decided to go to school, there was a lot of prayer and a lot of contemplating individually and together, because we knew it was going to be a hard road. You know, we knew that it was going to be a stretch, you know, for LJ and a stretch for myself. And so, but we decided that, you know what, this is what we're going to do. This is how, this is going to be for the betterment of our family. And so, you know, through God's strength and his grace and mercy, we've been working it out, but we both had to come to the understanding that there was going to need to be sacrifices. Right. And so that's what we had to do.
And she supported me in it 100%, you know, encouraged me, supported me, made me feel like I could do this, you know what I'm saying? Because honestly, I didn't feel like I could, but she made me feel as if I could. And then there's things that she helps me with when it comes to school, because especially typing, I don't type anything. I can't type. It'll take me.
He types.
Oh my gosh. He
don't type papers, but it'll
take me forever to type a paper. So she, you know, but that's where she'll come in and she'll help me out there and she'll type it up for me. So, you know, it's a team effort.
It's a team effort.
You know what I mean? The goal is not just for me, but it's for us as a whole. You know, a better job, a better career is going to be good for both of us.
So, you know, we had to have these pillow talk conversations with each other so that we could gain each other's support in the different things that we wanted to do in our individual lives that we knew would affect the marriage as a whole. And so that's the thing about being married, is that you have individual goals, and those individual goals that you have for yourself, they have to be shared with each other so that you can be on the same page, so that both of you guys can support each other. Right. Because again, even though we are one, we're still two different people. I have my own personality. I have my own likes, my own desires, the things that God has given me to do. I have to carry those out. And when I go up before God and he says, what did you do with the gifts that I've given you? I can't say, well, I didn't really do much with them because my husband wasn't supportive, or I couldn't really do anything because of my husband or the marriage. you can't bring your husband with you when you come up to God and account for the things that he has given you to take care of. And so, you know, since we're both individuals and God has individually given us things, we have to communicate that to each other so that we can work together to make those dreams come true.
Right. So you can't be fearful in sharing with your spouse. I mean, if it's something that you think your spouse is going to be totally against, go to God in prayer and ask God, you know, give me the words, touch their heart when I do approach them with this, and have them to be open to it, you know, because like she said, it's goals that you have. So you can't just put them on the back burner because you're afraid that your spouse is not going to come on board. All pillow talk is not going to be easy.
No.
Sometimes it's going to be hard, but remember, communicating with your spouse and those different situations and things that you go against, sometimes it'll bring you closer together, and it gets you to learn and know each other even better because you're communicating those things. But it's not always going to be easy, but it can be worked through.
Yeah. I'm not sure. Someone, or Don said that the camera keeps trying to refocus, and I'm not sure if that's because there's the light situation,
I think
or
it's the difference in
you think it's
our areas. Like, we're not the same.
We're not the same.
Yeah,
I don't know.
As far as the closeness to the screen, that's what I was kind of thinking.
Oh, okay. Maybe I was sitting up too much. Sorry, but yeah. So you guys, this question tonight. What are the dreams you have for your family, for your career, for your marriage? I invite you to have pillow talk with your spouse tonight, or if you sat with your spouse today or tonight watching this, that you continue on that conversation. Sometimes it's going to be hard having conversations about things that that you want to have conversations about, because you know, one of the things I would say is, you know, just be truthful and honest. And sometimes it doesn't, you know, it doesn't feel good, because I remember times when I would talk to my husband, I'm laying in the bed and I'm like, I feel like God has given me a gift, and I feel like I want to do event planning. I wanted to do event planning because I had done a couple of weddings and got a couple of things under my belt, and I was, you know, I thought I was the bomb diggity, and I was going to go into wedding planning, and I did all this research, and I'm talking to him, we're laying in the bed, and he's like, no. And I'm like, what? He's like, you always trying to do something.
If it's not one thing, it's another.
Yeah, if it's not one thing, it's another. You can't just not, you know, you always got to pick up something. And I was just like torn. Like, I felt so bad, like I didn't have his support, but I had to really pray about that thing. And, you know, he was right. You know, he was right, even though it hurt me. And even though initially I thought I didn't have his support, but I had to think about what he was saying, and I had to weigh that and go to God in prayer and say, Lord, okay, I did do this, I did it well, but you know, is this what I need to do? And you know, it was clear to me that event planning wasn't the way I was supposed to go. Mm-hmm. So you just, you know, that's kind of things that you run into in pillow talk. You have to know, it just helps you to create a way to have conversation with each other, and it grows the relationship. So.
And that was early on in our relationship. And I shouldn't have responded just no, you know what I'm saying? And today that wouldn't be my response. I would have talked her through it and, you know, some situations and different things and had her to think it out. But, you know, we grow, you know what I'm saying? It's a growing process. And so that's why I said, you know, you can't be afraid, because the more you communicate, the more you grow, the more you get to learn your spouse and know what he or she likes, don't like, and then you can go and you can support them in those things.
Yeah. So thank you guys for watching us tonight. I hope you were able to grab your spouse and watch with us. If not, go ahead and just mirror what we did tonight in the beginning, and just ask that question, you know, with your spouse. So what are your dreams? What do you plan on? What do you see? Where do you see yourself, our marriage, our family in the next 5-10 years? and, just work that out, So, I do want to just thank everyone who has supported me in the book writing, and in the effort to doing campaigning, to raise money for my publishing. So if you guys can support me, I really would appreciate it. It's been a long time in me wanting to write this book, and, God just really blessed in the last few 6 months that I was able to really focus on writing the book. And I will have a video out probably within the next week that is going to tell you a little bit more about what the book is about. And hopefully you guys can support me in that, and I really would appreciate it. So thank you guys tonight for tuning in. Thank you for complimenting the topic, and I hope that you guys use our example, and we're going to have a few more sessions. I think we're going to have...
And if there's any topics that you guys might want to throw out there for us to walk through, let us know. Put them in the comments. Send us an email. If you have our phone numbers, text us. Give us a text or whatever. But if there's any topics that you want, let us know. And we'll try to do those also. And
we do have a few topics that were from the last time. So we'll try to incorporate those into our Pillow Talk as well.
Right.
All right, you guys. Anyone that's in the Columbus area, if you would like to join our small group, we have a marriage small group. It's called A Gift of Marriage. And it's ran on Thursday, every first and third Thursdays of the month from 6:30 to 8:30-ish. We try to get everybody out by 8:30, but sometimes it gets pretty intense when we have our meetings. So we would love to invite you guys to come out, and we just kind of have a little bit of food, fellowship, and we talk and support each other in whatever the topic that we're talking about. So
if you'd like more information on that, you can, like I said, email us, text, or in these comments, and we'll message you some more information on that.
Yes. All right, guys. Thanks for the Pillow Talk. We'll see you next week.
All right. Love you all.
Bye.
Bye-bye.